I want to urge Nigerians to continue to watch Osasu show, which will be very informative.
Keep watching Osasu show. As a matter of fact, it's the best show so far, so good.
I wish the Osasu show a happy anniversary.
I want you to keep watching the Osasu show because it is special.
Keep watching the Osasu show. She's absolutely brilliant.
The Osasu show, anchored by the new improved Chief Osasu Ibidedion. I recommend it to each and every one of us.
I pray you grow from strength to strength, and by the grace of God, we'll be celebrating your 20th, 30th, 50th, everything in strength. And well done, congratulations, happy anniversary.
You guys are the best, man. You are championship. You are international championship, man.
Says happy 4th anniversary. It's been 4 years since we began this journey on the Osasu show. I remember in March 2015 when I conducted my very first interview. I was so nervous, but I knew that there was a purpose, there was a bigger purpose to this journey. And today, here we are. We thank God for the lives that we've been able to impact, the personalities we've been able to talk to hold them accountable, to draw truth from, and we hope to do this for even more years. Thank you so much for all your support throughout these last 4 years. And also, I would like to thank you, especially for the support most of you have lent to me in the past 1 month, giving the demise of my younger brother, Osaiting Abraham Lucky Benadian. Everybody who met Osaiting knows how much of a joy he was to the world. He was such a bright and shining light. And although it's a hard time, my family and I still believe in God. We still trust in God that He will fill the vacuum in our hearts. And someday, maybe we would have a better understanding of this tragic situation. May his soul rest in peace. In Jesus' name, amen. On today's episode, we bring you 1-minute clips from our 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018 interviews. I hope that you will enjoy it. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back on the Osasu show. So the issue of corruption under the Goodluck Jonathan administration, this is one of the reasons many people are flocking to the party of change. What are your thoughts on this?
And nobody have ever said that Jonathan has built this mansion here, Jonathan owns this, Jonathan, nobody have said it.
The $1.8 billion that was missing from the NNPC funds. Can you talk more about that? And we also know
it wasn't missing, there's an audit. So it's just mere propaganda, people trying to, just trying to engage people or trying to deceive people. For me, there's no corruption.
Corruption has been an issue that this country has faced for many years. Corruption is not only an issue of Nigeria, it's an issue that every single country in the world faces. So what have you done as part of the legislation to promote bills that would hinder and reduce the level of corruption that we're facing in Nigeria?
Well, Nigerians, under the present democratic experience, are very, very sure and convinced that what is going on is deliberately sponsored by the government. I'll give you a few examples. When EFCC was created, I was the governor of Benue State at that time, and the principal officer of the National Assembly said EFCC was designed for recalcitrant PDP governors and opposition politicians. In any case,
So if the National Assembly succeeds at impeaching you, you'll be the first governor in the history of Nigeria to be impeached twice.
That is if.
If. So what are your feelings being dragged again back to past memories from 2006?
May I say to you very expressly, I'm impeachable.
You are impeachable.
Impeachable. I am. For you to impeach me, you have to impeach God. I didn't come to this position by accident. There are certain forces, certain powers kept my love in the heart of the people. When the Supreme Court passes a judgment, that thing never happened. The Supreme Court says I was never impeached. What are you talking about?
So what do they call the incident of October 2006?
No impeachment. They call it rascality.
Rascality. Senator Bukola Saraki, the Senate President, has called Mr. President a stooge. He basically said that there's a government within the government. Do you agree with this?
I want you to quote Senator Bukola Saraki rightly. I never heard him use the word stooge. But I know he said that there is a government and government. And from the way things are happening in this country, you definitely know that there's a cabal in this government. And the cabal in this government have manifested themselves, and anybody who is saying there's no cabal in this government is wasting his or her time.
For you to say there's a cabal in government, you mean that the cabal is in control, which means that the president is a stooge, that he doesn't have the powers that he is meant to have.
There are a lot of things happening in this country that the president is not aware of, because his powers have been hijacked by individuals, name droppers.
A lot of people have actually praised you for the work that you have done. So that is not what Nigeria.
Forget what I've done in River State.
Not only River State, generally with even bringing helping President Muhammadu Buhari gain power in 2015.
Now Nigerians are saying, oh, the Buhari's government is not managing the economy well. No? We ate our tomorrow yesterday. That money we shared under Goodluck. Everybody had share. People were buying planes, helicopters. People were going on vacations. People were just. I mean, chopping money.
Chopping money. But
now there's no money to chop.
Your Excellency, but do you agree that there were accusations that you made during the campaign that were not necessarily founded?
Me?
Yes.
Anything I said, as chairman of the governor's forum, I had evidence. Please name those things.
We don't believe in what's happening in the assembly because they are legislators and they are there for only one thing, their selfish interest. Are those the people who should channel our problems?
But the Constitution is the foundation of
Constitution. Have they not broken all the Constitution? Isn't it why we're where we are today?
But how can you sustain a democracy? How can you ask the president to either resume or resign without a backing from the Constitution?
By the people for the people. We are talking to the people.
If a president is sick in America for even a month, he will resign. Nobody needs to beg him.
We can take this country back because Peking, we say I swear to God that Peking, and I know the rest of it.
You see, Hosanna, tell us, say Hosanna, I go more than do Hosanna.
If you could point to one key factor of how President Goodluck Jonathan lost the election in 2015, what would that be?
Well, it's difficult to point to one particular. I think many reasons why he lost the election. If he had, he probably, for example, would not have allowed some of us to have left the party. He would have done certain things against the fight against corruption early in the government. But I think he didn't do a number of those things because a few of the people who were close to him gave him the impression that all was good.
On January 17, 2016, you broke an 8-decade, I don't know if I should call it a tradition or rivalry between yourself and the Alaafin of Oyo. Can you talk to us more about this process? Why did you do this and what has been the outcome or backlash?
For me, it's very important for us in Yoruba land to come together. This is the ancestral root of the entire Yoruba race. But Ifes don't wage war. So my point is, we should face the fact. Forget that issue of supremacy battle. Let us all come together to make our society better.
This is the Osasu Show Symposium, and I of course want to welcome us especially. The theme for this event is the new economy and the impact on the less privileged citizens.
All our efforts in the campaign, we have attracted almost 2 billion naira by direct sales to the average Aba person in terms of production of military shoes and all those kind of things.
We have commenced construction of the Lagos-Ibadan, and the contract was 36 months. I told the gentleman he must finish December 2018. We have signed a new contract that 2018 December, they will finish and deliver to us, and we will start commercial activities on that track. The president has also currently approved new railway lines that he has asked us to go and look for loans.
If you listen to the speakers, they talked about borrowing, credit, loan. It is our generation that would pay for that.
When I was a member of the House of Reps, I moved a motion that sons and daughters of all political office holders or all politically exposed persons, from councillor to president, should attend public school. That motion was not seconded. It died. Because if the son of a governor, of a senator, is attending a public school, who will fix the schools?
Can you ascertain the amount of people who have been killed since the beginning of this herdsmen attack?
Well, from the research we did in 2014 by the Bureau for Local Government, close to 2,000 people were killed from 2011 to 2014. They are conducting international press conferences and writing on social media and giving press releases. And they have come out to say that, look, in 1884 jihad, it was Benue people that stopped them from penetrating from Sokoto to the sea. And this time around, they are not going to stop.
And what
It
is
is
the
unbelievable.
What's the body that has made this statement categorically?
This is coming from Mayatiala.
Mayatiala. But Your Excellency, if the Sultan of Sokoto has come out and the Emir of Kano, they've come out to say, yes, they're members of Mayatiala, why haven't you sat down with them to ask them to call their people to order?
Why will I sit down with them? We have a constituted authority over this country. And it is the responsibility of the federal government to ensure the enforcement of the laws of the land.
You're a senator representing a constituency in Kano State. You haven't been back in 3 years, almost 4 years now. Indirectly, you're not able to do your job as a senator.
If you are talking of Kano, the good people of Kano are very, very understanding. They do understand my circumstance. It's not, I didn't want to go to my constituency, but the last episode has shown beyond reasonable doubt that there are people who don't want me to go, but the people on the ground in my constituency, of course, want me to go there to see them, and of course vice versa.
The local government election in Kano State was just finished. We saw a high turnout of underage voters. What is the solution to stop underage voting, especially given the 2019 elections are in our horizon?
If you have more than one party, then party A will never allow party B to do any form of magu-magu, especially the issue of the people who are below 18.
Your biggest rival, Senator Dino Milai, he has come out time again to criticize your administration. He believes that you can be doing more as a governor, especially as a young governor. Recently, he was meant to commission a block of classrooms here in Kogi State, and it was burnt down, and he attributed it to his political foes. What's your response to that?
Remember, he has orchestrated self-attacks severally in the state, and I won't be surprised in order to draw public sympathy if he organized that for himself. This is a project you started. Nobody stopped you from starting it. You continued it and you complete it. Nobody stopped you. You're about commissioning it. Why would anybody go and burn it down?
So
any right-thinking person, why would any right-thinking person go there to burn it down?
So are you emphatically saying that none of your supporters, no one in your party, yourself, had nothing to do with that arson?
Absolutely.
You've said that the APC should put their house in order, but the PDP in Ekiti State is in disarray.
In what
A
way?
faction of the party has claimed that you are imposing your deputy on the Ekiti people.
I'm entitled to who I support. My name is Ayofauci, Peter the Rock. If you follow me, you scatter. If I follow you, you just turn into particles. My deputy will be the next governor.
What makes you so confident?
I have told you I have pensioned for taking out incumbents. I've taken out 2 incumbents, and may I say to you, I am the sitting governor.
The APC recently, one faction of the APC in your state recently backed Tony Cole, businessman, MD Sahara Energy, for governorship in your state. What's your reaction to that?
Not when it is sold most of our property to Toyko, to Sahara. So, Governor Peter Day built gas turbines. And Amaji sold it to Toyko.
That case is still in court, right? Because you've accused him of selling about 112 billion naira worth of gas turbines and other assets across River State to Tony Cole.
No, it's not $380 million. PDP is a dominant party in the state.
That is what your colleague Peter Ayodele Fayose thought before he lost out, his supported candidate lost out in the gubernatorial election. So how are you certain that you're not going to assume the same fate as he did?
I don't want to limit you. Peter Ayodele Fayose is not here some than 1 week.
We've seen the influx of Shiites into the Abuja environs recently. We've also seen a clash between the military and the Shiite members. What exactly is going on?
Anybody that does not obey the laws of the land should be sanctioned.
But Brigadier General, do you understand why it's difficult for Nigerians to just take this story or the perception of the military as one and all, given the fact that when this issue happened in Zaria in 2015, the military came out that no, they didn't kill any of the Shiites. But later, after a panel was set up, we found out that over 350 Shiites were killed and buried in a mass grave. And this was then confessed to later by the military. So do you understand now that you're telling Nigerians this perspective that, oh, the Shiites attacked the military? We're finding it a little difficult to digest this, whether or not it's factual or not.
You don't have the correct picture.
Please paint the correct picture for us.
The correct picture is that they attacked the military, and the military responded.
As a people, we must develop a conviction and passion in the resolution that a great Nigeria is non-negotiable. We must fight to earn our right of place amongst other committee of nations.
How can people be asking us, nations that should respect us, make comments like we're criminally corrupt in front of our president? Do you blame them? When he would stand on international podiums and say Nigerians are mad people, who does that to his people?
She said power has improved. We under them $16 billion. We had 3,000 megawatts of power. Now we have 7,000.
We're a country that boasts of love for God, therefore we will prove this by voting our conscience, knowing that posterity will judge us the same way it will judge our leaders.
In a single day, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, returned and declined 15 bills in one day. It's never happened anywhere in the world. These are bills that have to do with national security, and I can bet my liver that the president did not go through those bills.
You know, he didn't pass the budget. They didn't pass the budget. Listen, it's good you listen so that you can hear the argument and stop being euphoric. Do you know they passed the budget in September? 4 months to the end of the year. 4 months to the end of the year. Now, the Federal Republic of Nigeria expects the budget from the National Assembly early enough The National Assembly sits down and writes projects to their villages. Somebody takes away 67 billion, and shares to his villages. He's here, he's here.
Mahmoud Yakubu, thank you so much for joining us in today's program.
Thank you.
How prepared is INEC for the 2019 general elections?
Well, thank you very much for that question. We are fully prepared for the election. We first and foremost deliberately planned the 2019 general elections, beginning with the election project plan, the strategic plan, and the strategic program of action. Next, we established the principle that going forward, elections in Nigeria should be held on the third Saturday of the month of February of the election year. That is for national elections, presidential and national assembly. And then 2 weeks later, the state elections, the governorship, the state assembly, and the area council elections where they coincide with the general elections.
Given this level of preparedness you have expressed, is there any possibility of the postponement of the 2019 general elections?
I can't foresee any possibility of postponement. We've started this a long time ago. We have gone ahead with our preparations. There's no possibility of postponement.
Absolutely
INEC
not.
is not even contemplating the postponement of the 2019 general elections.
So when we look at the issues with your governor, is there any end to sight? Is there any end in sight to these issues? Because you and His Excellency El Rufai were friends at some point. You guys were friends, you were colleagues, you campaigned together. And all of a sudden, we see the fight in the media and it seems like no reconciliation is in sight anytime soon.
My point is very clear. We have a governor who today is calling the PDP people thieves, while he served as a full member of PDP for over 14 years. PDP spent 16 years in power, and he spent 14 out of that 16 years in power. So if you can qualify anybody a thief, he should be part of it. He is capitalizing on his relationship with President Muhammadu Buhari. And I know very well, this is a man that is a serial betrayer. He betrayed Obasanjo. After Obasanjo is out of Obasanjo's government, he started insulting Obasanjo. Atiku was his master. He started fighting him. Jonathan and Omar Musa Oradua, he was also fighting them when he was out of their own favor. And I said it continuously. Keep this interview for the next 5, 10, 20 years. Nasir El-Rufai will insult Buhari. He will abuse Buhari. He will attack Buhari. It is a question of time.
The place where the school was located and also the home for 15 families was being closed because the owner of the property needed to have her property back. But God came to our rescue that day because Osasu came to the camp. And when I told her about the challenge we were having, she promised to do something about it. And in less than 2 weeks, we had a makeshift school for the children, 167 children, and we also had makeshift homes for 15 families.
I want to urge Nigerians to continue to watch Osasu show, which will be very informative.
Keep watching Osasu show. As a matter of fact, it's the best show so far, so good.
I wish the Osasu show a happy anniversary. I want you to keep watching the Osasu show because it is special.
Keep watching the Osasu show. She's absolutely brilliant.
The Osasu show, anchored by the new improved Chief Osasu Ibidedion. I recommend it to each and every one of us.
I pray you grow from strength to strength, and by the grace of God, we'll be celebrating your 20th, 30th, 50th, everything in strength. And well done, congratulations, happy anniversary.
You guys are the best, man. You are championship. You're international championship, man.
Thank you so much for investing your time with us today on today's program. Don't forget to follow us on social media at The Osasu Show, at TOS TV Network, at Osasu Igbinedion, and at TOS Foundation on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'll see you same time, same place next week. And until then, take very good care of yourself. God bless you.